You bagged my back up that time, girlfriend. No place to run or hide. February the 7th, commemorative freedom.
Miss Sims?
Yes. Helen Sims.
Count to 10.
Count to 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Yeah, this is Sade Turnipseed coming to you live from the WABG studios in Mississippi. Where am I? Greenville, Mississippi.
You wrong for that.
Mississippi.
February 7, 2013. Commemorative freedom from slavery.
Okay, we ready.
Education.
I'm putting on my rouge.
You go,
I need
girl.
some cheeks. Did you already take our picture? Okay. Alrighty then. I'm ready to go. Helen, you didn't sign my paperwork, but that's okay. You got too many signatures on.
Oh, girl. Just pull up on them.
Already, right.
Just pull up on them. Now, you going to give me a copy of this tape.
Ball with this stuff, baby.
That's what I'm talking about, my brother.
Oh, yeah, he's good at this.
All right. That's what I'm talking about. I need to put my glasses off because I didn't look in the mirror with them on, girlfriend. But now, once I pull them off, is anything got to be read? You're going to have to read them.
Well, that's why mine are sitting right here on standby.
Okay. Well, I'm going to be pretty. I'm going to let you read.
No, you're going to read it.
Well, then, let me put
We'll
them
figure
back
it all
on.
out. You already know how this works.
Yeah.
Keep focused here. Okay, I'm ready. Am I still wild and lovely? What I look like?
Natural, girlfriend.
What I look like? I'm a flashback to the 60s.
Oh, that's where you went with
Yes.
that. Okay.
Yes. Okay. Welcome to Delta Renaissance. I'm your host, Sade Turnipseed, and this week's show is my all-time favorite guest, my sister, Helen Sims. She's back in the house. Welcome back. Welcome back.
All right,
Welcome back.
very
Welcome
good.
back.
It's glad to be back. Always excited to sit here and talk to you
Yes.
on Delta Renaissance.
And so Helen has made a commitment to the community to come at least once every 6 months and keep us updated on what's going on with the Fannie Lou Hamer Civil Rights Museum and Pine Top Perkins Museum and all the efforts underway in Humphreys County and Belzoni to be specific. And so she's here tonight to really talk about a major success, big, huge, significant piece of legislation that was passed due to your inquiry and your nudging. And so that's what we want to talk about. We're going to just dive right on into that.
Absolutely.
And again, welcome.
Thank
It's
you.
always so good to see you.
And it's good to be here. And always good to come and bring some good news.
Yes.
Something exciting, something educational,
Mm-hmm.
and something upbuilding for our community. And this time, Sade, we're talking about, after 148 years, finally on February the 13th, February the 7th, 2013 rather, we had the Emancipation Proclamation signed.
That's the 13th Amendment from 1865.
Wow.
Piece of legislation that passed by Abraham Lincoln, or signed by Abraham Lincoln.
Absolutely.
It actually passed Mississippi
1995.
and
For the first time.
for the first time. And it wasn't filed in the appropriate
Offices.
and so it just never registered on file. Is that correct?
That's right.
And so technically it never passed, or it never was recorded.
Absolutely.
So in 2013, February the 7th, because of I don't know, the movie, right? You could tell that
Right,
story.
right.
The movie, the Lincoln.
Right, the Lincoln movie actually showed in 2012. And Dr. Boxtra from Jackson University Medical Center happened to go see the movie. And after seeing the movie, he really liked the movie, but he was curious as to the mindset, what was happening in Mississippi after that time, after the Emancipation Proclamation. And out of curiosity, he went and did some research and found out that there was an abstract still by the name of Mississippi, which technically meant that people in Mississippi were still technically slaves, and it had never been removed. And then you're talking about, at that time, it was 147 years when the movie Lincoln aired in 2012, and we still in the state of Mississippi had an abstract at the Federal Register's office by the name of the state of Mississippi.
Yeah. So this asterisk then cued him in to go a little deeper and to try to figure out what is going on. And he found that besides Kansas, right, who had filed, I think,
There's some years prior
just
to.
a couple of years prior, in the early 60s or something, but Mississippi was the last state in the United States
that still
had not filed the official resolution or to
send it to the Federal Register's office.
Right. Right.
And upon discovering that, a colleague of his, he said, man, you know, I went and saw the movie Lincoln. Have you seen the movie yet?
Yeah.
He said, no, but I intended to. He said, man, it was great, but I'm a little bit confused here. They still have an abstract. Do you realize the people in Mississippi, African Americans, is technically still slaves because of that abstract? And he said, no. He said, no.
Yeah.
It can't be because I was a part of that. I remember when that was happening. He said, well, go check it, do the research, come back, and let me know what you find. Yeah. And he had to go back, face him, and said, you know, you're absolutely right. After 147 years, technically, somebody dropped the ball. Mississippi is still technically a slave state.
They never ratified the 13th Amendment.
No.
And so it was February the 7th, 2013. Yes, 2013, that the papers were officially sent to the appropriate office and filed, and therefore Mississippi became
ratified, emancipated.
You know, it's really difficult to talk about because it's so outlandish and it's so, you can't help but feel that it's a little deliberate. Of course, folks knew that that asterisk was there. Of course, folks knew that the signature was never filed or the papers were never ratified officially. And of course, folks felt a certain kind of way, you know, about holding them back. I mean, it was, I can't help but believe, given the history, given the trauma, given all of what we know about the southern states, but particularly Mississippi, that somehow, some way, that was a little intentional. And so, therefore, according to this new legislation that has just passed, and thanks to you, my sister, and the work that you did in nudging Rufus Straughter, your state representative, you nudged the state legislature to pass a bill to start the healing from that oversight.
Absolutely.
Tell us a little bit about that before we go to break, and then we'll get more deeply into it.
Once hooking the monitor up from the computer to the widescreen of the television, Whoopi Goldberg happened to say, Mississippi, after 100 and some years, those people down there didn't know they were still slaves. And I go like, what in the world is she talking about?
What was this, on The View? When she
on
was
The View,
about?
yes. She was making a joke. She said, what was they thinking about, you know? And she cracked her joke, and so I said, what did that woman say? And then listening at the news and doing some research throughout the day, I found out that that was actually true, that after 100 and some years, and the story we just spoke about earlier with the doctor at the University Medical Center, we were technically slaves until February the 7th. And I said, man, this is just unheard of.
All those who were born in the state of Mississippi.
Was technically born slaves.
I mean, you know, and so, you know, on so many levels, that's just wrong. That's just wrong. And I mean, it's just, it's, you have to laugh to keep from crying sometimes. But, you know, we're going to take a break, and we're going to come back, and we're going to talk more about the legislation that was actually passed this year, a month ago, to kind of try to heal some of those wounds that was caused by this oversight, okay? So we're going to take a break and come on back and talk to you about this. We're ready. Okay, so we'll start reading.
And of course,
Welcome back. I'm in the studio with Helen Sims, the director and founder of the Fannie Lou Hamer Civil Rights Museum in Belzoni, Mississippi, and she's here with some huge news about a piece of legislation. And let me just read a little bit of it, because it's the House Concurrent Resolution number 52, and it's a concurrent resolution acknowledging February the 7th, 2013 as, quote unquote, Mississippi Day of Freedom and Abolishment of Slavery, and encouraging the citizens of Mississippi to commemorate its observance on February 7th, 2015, and each year thereafter.
yes.
So basically what this legislation is saying and encouraging is for the citizens of the state of Mississippi to acknowledge that February the 7th is the day that we should celebrate the emancipation of Africans in America, pretty much the way that we know Juneteenth has to be, you know, in Texas, where they were the last to hear about their freedom. And so we all celebrate Juneteenth as the last day that folks heard about the Emancipation Proclamation. But this celebration is to commemorate the last day that it was actually filed and ratified.
And it's all about Mississippi this time.
Yeah.
We understand that Juneteenth is America's celebration of the emancipation from slavery.
Right.
But due to what we previously spoke about, the oversight, it wasn't inclusive of Mississippi as we previously had thought. So now we have the opportunity through the state legislature and that bill that you have there to celebrate an official, authentic day. And Sade, that was so important to me that my grandson and his children know what day officially would be the Emancipation Day of Mississippians. Officially, it happened in 1995, but it wasn't officially, technically, until February the 7th, 2013.
Legally. Yeah.
Legally. So my question was to my representative, which day do we write in history as the authentic day of our emancipation in the state of Mississippi? For truth to be told, for our ancestors, for all of those that came before us in the state of Mississippi, it is important that the state put a date on the emancipation. And after talking to him, he decided that he would go and present it. And thank goodness, now we have that resolution, concurrent resolution number 52.
I'm going to read a little bit more. It says, whereas the removal of the uncivilized and demeaning asterisk from Amendment 13, which immobilized the progress of Mississippi until February 7, 2013, should be memorialized and celebrated by commemoratively observing February the 7th, 2013 as Mississippi Day of Freedom and Abolishment of Slavery, and whereas February the 7th, 2013 commemorates freedom from slavery in Mississippi, emphasizes education and achievement, and is a day for reflection and rejoicing in the African American experience. And whereas the celebration of February 7th, 2013 as Mississippi Day of Freedom and Abolishment of Slavery is inclusive of all races, ethnicities, religions, and nationalities, in that citizens across our state join hands in acknowledging a period in our history that has influenced our society, a great society, that advances the ideals of liberty and justice for all.
Absolutely.
And whereas President Abraham Lincoln bestowed the Emancipation Proclamation as one of the most valuable and imperative documents in the esteemed yet tumultuous history of the great United States of America upon the weary and transitioning minds of the nation on January the 1st, 1863, to eradicate the abominable
I hear you,
practice
sister.
of slavery, which was completely abolished on December 18th, 1865, and the Honorable 38th Congress of the United States on February the 1st, 1865, by the required vote of 2/3 of the membership of both houses. So, you know, it just goes on. And you know the part I love the best?
What's that, sister?
Be it further resolved that the copies of this resolution be furnished to the Fannie Lou Hamer Civil Rights Museum Director, Helen SIMS, the Governor of Mississippi, the Lieutenant Governor of Mississippi, the Speaker of the House of Mississippi, and the Secretary of State, Mississippi, and to the members of the Capitol Press Corps. Congratulations,
Thank you,
girl. I
sister.
mean, you
Thank
topped the
you.
list.
Thank you.
You headlined the list
A
of
worthy
those
cause.
who were to receive this authentic copy of the legislation that they're encouraging all Mississippians, all Mississippians.
Keyword, all.
Yes, to help in celebrating, you know, the contributions of those folks who have been enslaved, you know, for 265 years or whatever that
Was.
yeah, it's an amazing feat, and I really do want to applaud you again for the activism, for the insight, for the insistence and the determination just to be recognized and respected. And that's all that is saying. And so, you know, it takes this kind of work.
It does.
You know, and I know it's a lonely fight.
It seems that way. I think you kind of understand that as well, but it really does sometimes.
Yeah. So tell us about what do you want to see happen as a result of this, and what the celebration should be about?
Well, we started actually in 2013 after hearing that we are emancipated. I felt that it was so important, and I was so elated to finally have that legislation done, ratified in Washington, D.C., that we celebrated it on a community level in 2013, notified our representative, which we was too late for the legislation session of 2013 to get anything done. In 2014, on the 24th of February, wow, he presented the idea before the Speaker of the House, Philip Gunn, and told him about, and he wasn't aware of the embarrassment that Mississippi suffered on February the 7th and 8th, because we was actually the laughing stock of the nation. News medias around the world carried the fact. And once learning that, he realized that it was just as important as I was requesting it to be to do something.
Yeah. We're going to take a break, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk more with Helen SIMS.
No problem.
Okay.
Girl, you read that thing.
Welcome back. I'm in the studio this evening with my sister and yours, Helen SIMS. So we're just talking about the legislation that passed encouraging all Mississippians to take and embrace, you know, the fact that we got a lot of healing to do. You know, all jokes aside, all pain aside, you know, we just have to deal with our issues and be truthful about them.
Yes.
And understand that they're never going to go away. And to your point earlier, that Mississippi will remain a laughingstock, and our image throughout the country, if not the world, remains what it is and unchallenged until we do the work.
And we is the key word. We as Mississippians must stand together united for that cause. We have come a long ways, Sade, but we still have a ways to go. And I believe that we can do it together as a state.
Why is it that people want to not, I mean, you know, you were born and raised here. I wasn't, but my people are. And so I'm a Mississippian too. You know, but
Welcome home, sister.
thank you. But I'm just saying, you know, why is it that you think that there is such resistance still today, that folks just don't want to acknowledge, you know, each other as fair and equally as possible, and know that we're all in this thing together?
Yes.
And you're no better than me, I'm no better than you, and when we work together, all ships rise together, and we could be such a lovely world and people
absolutely.
and environment if only, you know, we stop thinking that one is better than the other. And it's just so old. It's just so like, really, you still think that way? And it was flawed then, but it's even more ridiculous today. Why is it that people are holding on to that?
I think we are embracing it more because we are learning that old mentality and mindset is actually fading away. Because as a people, we either rise together or we fall together. And the state of Mississippi is no different from any other place. We stand together, we stand to gain. We stand divided, we will fall. So with that being said, we thought it was so important for us as a state to embrace our history. But as it was stated in the resolution, we as a whole, every nationality of people that is represented in this state will stand in celebration of the achievement and the triumph in the fact that it was recognized in 1995, passed the House and the Senate. It passed both the House. We knew in 1995 that they were ready, but somewhere along the way, somebody wasn't. And that's the same thing now. There are many people in our state is ready. And that's why we are trying to reach everyone that we can, the schools, jobs, corporations, individuals, organizations, and say, let's get the word out in our state that we as a state and as a people will celebrate. We arise together. We're going to overcome our differences, our adversities. We have come a long ways, but together we're going to make this journey.
How do you see that day being celebrated? What kinds of activities, or, I mean, if you were to craft a template for how to celebrate?
Right now, on the first Saturday and Sunday in February, regardless to whether it's February the 7th or not, every church in the state of Mississippi and all of its members will talk about the God that Fannie Lou Hamer quoted so eloquent in 17:26, that with one blood created he him all, and there is no difference in that blood, it's all red. And that God that created us all is that same spirit of the light that brought the foot soldiers from around the world, from every nationality. They came to see about their children like Moses did. The Egyptians in the Hebrew story, they came to see about Mississippi. When we embrace that there is an evil force that will enter any man, doesn't matter the color of the skin he be in, and the only weapon we have against him is love and the power of God. When we embrace that humanity within ourselves and catch a hold to the spiritual man, we cannot be defeated. For one angel will slay 10,000, will put them to flight.
Yes, amen.
We're having church, sister.
Yes,
but you know, this country was founded on biblical principles. And that is the tool that we need and the ship that we need to sail to freedom in Mississippi and liberty. And when we can look each other in the face and call each other brother and sister, regardless to the color of the skin that we're in, and realize that they're one God, and he said, I died for us all. Whosoever will, let him come. And that's what we're saying to every corporation, every individual, and every job. The sign in your business that say, I am a friend of the Mississippi Emancipation Society, let people know that you want things to move forward. And if you don't have that plaque in your office, in your business, if on that day, wherever you are, can to can't, breakfast in schools, take a minute. This is the day, February the 7th. Colleges and universities, noontime, this is the day. Saturdays and Sundays, get together, commemorate. This is our season to stand together in love and unity and serve that one God that created us all.
So you're suggesting that everyone become a part of a collective
Partner.
or a member
Right.
of the team that
Right.
acknowledges and celebrates. And so to show it with the plaque in their
In your business.
in their business or
Yeah.
in their home
And
or
don't
in their
forget,
church.
sister,
Yeah.
take out the ad. Get an ad in the friendship booklet to say, I support Mississippi unity, Mississippi moving forward. Help us to do this, spread the word throughout the state that we stand together. And there will be no question when they walk in your office, in your home, in your
Right,
business,
right.
your school, that you as a superintendent, a supervisor, a mayor, a minister, they are very important. An evangelist, the deacon, and just an individual to say, I am one, but it took one to save us all.
To just put it on blast that you are celebrating, that you are commemorating, that you are proud to embrace.
Yes.
And to try our best to heal and to become one. I mean, I think it's a beautiful thing. How does it make you feel, really, to have initiated this whole day, this Mississippi Day of Emancipation?
I think, Sade, that we all is called to do certain things, and there is no accidents, but everything is divinely designed. And I thank God for whatever little role that I'll play in the healing, moving our community forward, educational-wise, economically-wise, whatever role that I may have played or may play in the future, it's very small.
Yeah.
But at least I played my part.
You played your part.
I played
You
my
played
part.
your part, sister.
Yes, ma'am. Thank
Look,
you,
I
sister.
love you, I love you, I love you, I love you, I love you.
Thank you.
And I'm so proud of you.
Thank you.
And so you know you got me. Anything you need, I can do. I'm with it.
Always
all
have,
the way.
sister.
I know
Cheering
that.
up you
know
are,
that,
but
right?
I do know that.
Well, I want to thank Helen Sims for joining me this week, and I want to thank you for joining us at home. And I'll see you next week right here on WCC.